Loving with the building with the Phillips. With the Phillips.
Hello guys, this is your friend Deanna over here again, Deanna, your realtor. Remember to make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Building with the Phillips, to stay up to date on all the juicy details we have for you in life, family, and home. Today I have the amazing Carla Hall.
Hello.
She is my favorite escrow agent with America's Title Corp, and she's going to talk to us a little bit today about some tips you need to know about what her job is as your escrow agent and during your home buying or home selling process.
Thanks, Deanna.
Welcome, Carla. Thank you for
so
joining
much.
us.
My pleasure. It's nice to be here with you today.
Yay!
That was such a sweet introduction. Thank you. So I'm just going to take it and run with it.
Let's go.
Thank you. So I've been an escrow officer in the Tampa Bay area for almost 20 years now.
Amazing.
It's been really a wonderful career, and I'm very happy with my career choice.
Wow.
I think that what sets me apart from other title companies is that I'm going to work with the homeowner, whether it's a first-time home buyer or a very savvy seller or even sometimes investors.
Love it.
That I can work with them on a one-to-one basis and make them comfortable with the process.
Okay.
I pride myself on talking to the individual, assuming that they don't know a lot about this process.
Okay.
And it can be a very stressful process, selling your home or buying your first home. So I really want to take the stress out of it for them and help them understand the process and what's needed from them for document gathering, whether it's buying or selling, and that they'll be seeing people on their property for a land survey, things like that. But then we get to the closing table, sometimes, 30 days or 45 days later, and it's a very happy and wonderful experience. Sometimes it can be bittersweet for a seller if they're selling their home, maybe as their lifelong childhood home or something like that.
Yeah.
So that can be bittersweet, but typically it's a very a fun and a non-stressful transaction, and that's really where my specialty lies, is to be able to interact with your clients the way that they deserve to have a human touch on this side of the transaction.
I love it. I love it. So tell us briefly about what a escrow agent actually does.
Sure.
Because you are a necessary. You're a must, even if you don't have a realtor. A must.
That is
on an
true.
escrow
That is
agent.
a good point.
You got to have an escrow agent.
I always encourage everyone to use an industry professional like yourself because they're going to get so much good advice and direction as far as pricing and all that good stuff. That's so important. But where I come into the picture is once you get a property under contract, you're going to present that contract to me, and I'm going to do a title search to show your buyer or your seller that there are no outstanding liens or judgments. And then we start working on that. We clear the title. We pay off what needs to be paid off. We make arrangements for mortgage payoffs, IRS income tax liens, child support liens. These are types of things that will attach to property, and we don't want your buyer to have to be responsible for them when they're the seller's responsibility.
Oh my God, this
so these
is
can
so
be
amazing.
Tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of things that I will address in the clearing of the title. And then I'll work with your buyer's lender to make sure that they have all of the documentation that they need to get their loan through the underwriting process on that side of things. And that includes ordering a land survey, doing a tax certification, just working with the lender to make sure they have all the property details.
I love it. I love it. Man, Carly, your job is so important. I like the first sentence you started out with, just saying you researched the title.
Yes.
I have seen people buy homes a strange kind of ways. I won't call types of ways, but the title was not properly searched. And a person thought, and cleared, and a person thought they purchased something, but they really purchased a can of worms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that does happen, and I'm thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of times I think most people think of my job as I just close the transaction. Everybody comes to the closing table, they've sent their money in, now the seller's going to get their money, we're going to sign the documents, and everybody's done.
Yeah.
And I think some people think that that's what my job is. And that's just one small part of my job. The main part of my job, Deanna, is that I'm an insurance agent. I sell an insurance product. At the end of the transaction, after your closing, the seller, the new homeowner will be sent an owner's title insurance policy.
Love it.
That is a policy that will protect their interest interest of their ownership in their land. So if anyone or entity ever tries to come out of the woodwork and say to them, we have a lien against this property from something that a previous owner did, or like I mentioned earlier with those IRS issues and child support issues, those are things that will attach to the property and have to be handled. And when you get your insurance policy, it's a free and clear insurance policy that says if anybody ever comes out of the woodwork, you have this face value of protection. That's right. And we will fight for you up to that dollar amount to make sure that your ownership interest is protected. And then there's a lender's title insurance policy.
Okay.
So the one that I was just describing we'll send to the new homeowner, but the buyer's lender gets an insurance policy also that they are in first lien position so that no one else can foreclose out their mortgage interest.
You guys hear that? Y'all hear how important an escrow agent's job is?
You actually get an insurance policy.
This is amazing. And escrow agents are so valuable, not just in the buying and selling, but even if you're interested in having an escrow agent hold funds for you too, they're so valuable. You guys already know that I'm the Director of Operations here at Phillips Home Construction, and Carla and I have talked about just an escrow agent holding funds for the building process of an all-cash client.
Yes.
And they're able to do things like that too.
Yes.
Could be a little intricate. We do have contracts and lawyers that get involved, but it's to protect you as a buyer and also the builder to keep everybody accountable to their job, right?
Yes, and we are fully bonded and insured to protect that money for you.
Y'all hear that? So escrow agents are so valuable. Carla, do you have any tips you want to give our audience today?
Yes, we are fighting a huge uphill battle of cybercrime and fraud.
Wow.
And my one takeaway to anyone that's thinking of purchasing a home right now is do not send any money to anyone without fully vetting and verifying those wire instructions with a known and trusted source. Don't just call the number that somebody told you to call, because you could be calling the fraudster.
Yes,
so we are everyone across our industry is very heightened and aware that this is a prevalent crime right now, and we all need to be on our guard for that.
Wow.
And I would hate for a first-time home buyer to lose their life savings by sending their money to a fraudster. That money can be unrecoverable.
Do you guys understand what that is? So here's another reason why you need a reputable realtor. For example, what Carla's explaining to you is basically your escrow deposit or your down payment.
Your down payment. You
have to, when you're putting an offer in on a home and your offer is accepted, normally in your contract it says how much your down payment will be in your offer. We have to, within a certain amount of days, sometimes it's 3 days, sometimes it's 5 days, or etc., whatever your contract dictates, you have to get that escrow agent the deposited funds. You want to make sure that you send the funds to the proper escrow agent. That escrow agent needs to be verified.
Yes.
And there are so many different ways you can do the verification,
yes.
Carla. Can you tell them how you can verify?
Sure. So the first line of defense is the information that you give them. Mm-hmm. You're going to give them my contact information,
That's
my
right.
direct line to my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Email can be very easily hacked, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So if I were to send your client an email to introduce myself, which I always do,
mm-hmm.
I would hope that they would compare that information in my introduction email to the information that you've given them to make sure that that matches.
Correct.
And what we see a lot of is after I send that introduction email, perhaps your buyer's email has been hacked, and they know now that I've sent them that email, so they're going to make a counter email. They're going to send another email that says, oh, please disregard that email I sent you. We want you to use these wire instructions instead.
No, always verify your wire instructions with your escrow agent. And if anything in your gut says, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right, you should have your escrow agent info from your realtor where you can pick up the phone and call that escrow agent just to verify that extra line of security.
Yes.
Wow, Carla.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's a good point.
Yeah, man, I really want to thank you for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Yes. Thank you guys for always tuning in to Building with the Phillips. And again, I'm Deanna, your realtor. This is the amazing Carla Hall with America's Title Corp. And we'll see you again very soon. Bye.
Loving with the building with the Phillips.